Oh, goodness. Okay. Whew. All right. So we already got a few questions coming on in. This is probably the closest any of you have had to have been to my face before. Oh God, we have to mute that. Sorry, I have my phone set up in front of me because I bought this cam link to connect to my actual camera and did a test run, and it was like pixelated like I was filming on a potato. So I was a little disappointed in that. So we're filming on my phone and I have my laptop next to me to read questions and interact with you guys. So I guess I should kick this off as I normally would. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever applies to you. Welcome to my live stream for unboxing this thing and celebrating 100,000 subscribers. I know it's really late, but to be honest, this took forever to come in the mail. Like a really, really long time. I put in the application and something like 3, 4 weeks later it actually arrived. So, I mean, maybe that's pretty good. I think I'm a bit spoilt in Australia because things are like almost back to normal, but gosh, yeah, I've noticed things from overseas tend to take a little longer now, which is fine. It's here now, and I'm here with you guys. So I'm gonna have a look at the live stream and just see what's up. Oh, I see Nicole. Hey, Nicole. I see a lot of OGs actually in this, which is really cool. I had no idea when I started this that it would get to the point where I would actually recognize like repeat subscribers and that like to this day I like wouldn't forget them. So that's really cool. Oh, cool. Oh, when is my reaction to Judgment and Punishment coming? So with that one, it's kind of connected to the interview that I made with my extreme vocals specialist friend, and editing that I found to be a little bit tricky. So I'll see if she's okay with me putting up the reaction first and then editing the interview, because there are just a few questions that I think should have been swapped around, but I was responding to subscriber questions and I didn't think at the time. So so there I am with that one. But the actual reaction itself was really good. She had a lot of incredible things to say about it, and I learnt a lot in that reaction. So I'll ask her and see if she's cool with me putting up the reaction first, because I think, yeah, okay. The reason why we didn't want to put it up straight away was because there was information and things, terminology that we used in the live in that reaction that we explained in better detail in the interview, if that makes sense. In like the little Q&A with her. So maybe Caption Julia can just do her best with that reaction. But anyway, I've got to move on to the next question. Home Free just released a couple of new covers. Yes, I heard that. I was hoping to do some more Home Free soon, actually, because I quite like that group. They're pretty cool. I saw Chase was there, and I saw Kirk. Hey, Kirk. We were just having a little chat this morning in their Discord. Well, I was not really chatting. I was listening to them chat. It was a super interesting conversation. Something about dinosaurs. Only those who were there will know what that means. Okay. Sometimes I Cry by Chris Stapleton, please. Chris Stapleton is amazing, and I know that a bunch of you have asked that I react to his performance of Tennessee Whiskey, and I think I will, but it will probably be a more intensive breakdown because I'm already really familiar with that song. So I had to actually learn the little riff in it. I can't do it now, but I had to learn the riff in it like 3 or 4 years ago for um, this like little thing with Natalie Wise. And I learned it at that time, but it meant that I got obsessed with the song because once you listen to it once, it's like you have to. His voice is amazing, so it'd probably be a bit more of a deep dive into what he's doing there if I was to react to Chris Stapleton doing Tennessee Whiskey. But I could definitely look at some of his other stuff and sort of that will be like a first time reaction. Black by Pearl Jam. I'm pretty certain that that one's been requested before, so I do have it written down. It sounds familiar, and of course I know who Pearl Jam are. I just haven't listened to much of their music. How many Julias are there? Well, that's a good question. So you got Video Julia, and you have caption Julia, and you have voiceover Julia, witch Julia, elf Julia. God, there's a few. I should just like, I don't know, get someone to like draw all of them so we can like keep track of just how many Julias there are. Have like a little Julia like collage of all the different things. Ah. Carry On Wayward Son cover by voice play. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now we do have live Julia. I hope that you don't mind how casual live Julia is. I just when I'm not teaching or I'm not filming, I'm in giant t-shirts for the rest of the time. It's just giant t-shirts and comfortable clothing. Ah, you gotta go to sleep now. Okay, sleep well, Jono, Fomanda. I don't know if I spelled that right, but sweet dreams. I hope that you sleep well. Who's the Julia that makes fun of video Julia? That would be Caption Julia. Yeah. I feel like Caption Julia must have been the one that was the most present when I did all of my pedagogy study at uni because that was a bit of a ruthless environment, and she just doesn't have any time for video Julia's shenanigans, unfortunately. Ah, casual Julia is great. Thank you, Ryan. Cool, cool. Ah, happy Lunar New Year. Yes, we had that one. So for my if I have any Mandarin speaking uh subscribers in the live, I guess I should say 新年快乐. So happy Lunar New Year. Okay. Keep doing the good work. I will. I will keep doing the good work. Oh, Chase. Okay. Hey, Chase. It's great to have you here. Question was, what has been your favorite moment so far? Also, you're fantastic. Right back at you, buddy. Right back at you. Okay. My favorite moment so far. I think it was actually when I started to post like my first few videos. Actually, I remember it. It was my very first Nightwish video because before then, when I would post a video, I'd get kind of like a half and half of people that were like super supportive, and then on the other side, I would get people who were not no, not as supportive, and that's completely fine. Of course, not everyone's going to like my style of delivery or like what I have to say, and that's the internet. That's just life, I guess. I'm going to stop deep diving into what life means now. But I do remember when I posted my first ever Nightwish video, like almost every single comment that I was reading was so overwhelmingly positive and welcoming. It just there were so many people who were just in that sort of mindset that it kind of hit me like really, really hard in my little heart. So yeah, that was a very memorable moment for me. And then also the people that would join in on my little posts on the community page on my channel. It's been really, really cool just to get to know you guys and interacting with people in the comments. So I would actually probably say, yeah, the overwhelming amount of communication and positivity that happened on my very first Nightwish video, and then how I've been able to communicate with you guys in the premieres. That's been just that's been great. And voice wise, there's so many amazing voices that I've been introduced to from you as as subscribers, just making recommendations, and I truly appreciate that because my background is jazz and pop and like sprinkles of R&B and like blues and soul and stuff. So that's the majority of the things that I was listening to, with like sprinkles of post-hardcore throughout my teenage years, and then hip hop as well. I listened to a lot of hip hop. So hitting all of these different genres that I've never really delved into before, it's just like opened my mind and definitely driven me to want to explore other kinds of pedagogy, and really actually exposed where there's holes in a lot of the academic literature as it pertains to styles that are not generic and commercial. So that's also really good because I'm in the academic field. I do research and I write papers and I do all this. So that's I think helpful because now I can like hopefully be another supportive force for people delving into those styles a little bit more. So I think that'd be cool. Oh, Elizabeth is here. Hey, Elizabeth. So me and Elizabeth have got to hang out a few times now. Yeah. Actually, Elizabeth has helped me a lot, like a lot behind the scenes when it has come to copyright. So massive shout out to Elizabeth for the like behind the scenes support. She's amazing. So if for some reason, and I doubt you're probably like not, but if you're not subscribed to her, go do that. And for Chase as well. Come on. All right. Ah, hi. Can you send me a greeting? Hey Diego, how you doing? Oh, okay. Okay, so we got some Discord gang coming in through now. That's really cool. Any chance of doing a collab with Elizabeth? I mean, I would love to. I feel like if we collabed though, the video would probably be like what happens with Chase, where we just talk and talk and talk and talk. Because when we do chat, the time goes like that. I swear to God. Have you reacted to the band Neobliviscaris? I don't know if I pronounced that right. No, I haven't, because I can't even pronounce their name. I'm so sorry. Hey, howdy, I'm a little late. Hey, Caleb, better late than never. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, I agree. A collab would be really cool. Okay. Actually, funny you should mention that, Chuck, because I watch a lot of TV and I'm a little bit outspoken on things that happen in movies because, gosh, they do some things that just don't make sense casting wise, but also sometimes just music wise. I don't know. I feel like movies and like musicals definitely because often the movie musicals are the music is a lot of the times already written by people who write for like stage musicals. So the music is often really interesting. So some composers that you might be familiar with music wise, but perhaps don't know their names are Pasek and Paul. So Pasek and Paul are kind of known for their more popish musical writing style. So they're the people behind Speechless and Aladdin, and they did all of the music, basically all of the music for Greatest Showman. But these are the same composers and lyricists who put together Dear Evan Hansen, James and the Giant Peach, like just really cool, fun contemporary musicals. So I'm definitely down to react to some movie musicals if you guys are, but also just, God, reacting to scenes in shows. I've noticed a lot of TV shows like to integrate song into what they're doing. And I mean, some of it's better than others, so I guess we could delve into that and find out. Do you have Eva Cassidy on your React list? Greetings from the Netherlands. I could definitely add her to the React list. I think that could be cool. Do you think it is possible to have a more beautiful smile than yours? Oh, that's so cute. Thank you. Thank you. Hello there. Glad I didn't miss you. Glad I didn't miss you either, Juliet. Welcome. Okay. Les Mis. Les Miserables. Okay. Les Mis, yes. Oh god, the live action movie of Les Mis. Yeah. I could react to some people who were from the Broadway one. No, to be honest, I could react to all of it. You'll just see a side of me that's maybe a little more judgmental than usual. God. Okay. Hi, Julie. You should try and take a look at Within Temptation. I do have that one on the list because ever since I reacted to Arian, is it Arian? Yeah. Ever since I reacted to that sort of music project, people have definitely asked me to react to Within Temptation. So it is on my list. I just have so many things that I want to react to that sometimes I get stuck. And I have so many things I want to do that I can't. I can't make the choice. It's like the problem with having too many options. Just need to just keep going with it. What's the story behind emo Julia? Uh, she was a teenager, so I mean that's kind of enough said, right? Um, yeah. Why is your Mandarin accent so good? 因为我不可以说中文. Well, in that case, if you're down for that, I'd ask for Anna. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't speak Chinese that well, but I do engage in speaking in Mandarin because I did teach in China for a while. So you kind of have to learn the language, adapt, or you don't get the right food. And I'm very food driven. Uh, oh, thank you so much to those of you that are like buying my little extra stickers. Those are so cute. Hey, you as well. Congrats on 100K. Oh, God, this is so amazing. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. What do you do in your free time? I don't really have that much free time, but when I do have free time, I am engaging in my nerd activities such as watching anime or reading manga or watching movies, listening to new music if I can, but honestly, I don't have a whole bunch of free time because I'm either teaching, filming, editing, rehearsing, at other rehearsals, performing, or working on my doctorate. So that doesn't leave a whole heap of spare time. Actually, in the charismatic voice Discord this morning, they were talking about how do you keep like a work-life balance, and I wasn't in on it, but I was listening. I'm like, yeah, if anyone has a secret to that, that would be that would be great because I am terrible at that. Favorite anime? Oh God, there's so many. There's so many that I've watched. I really liked Darker Than Black, even though I know that a lot of people aren't huge on that. That was like one of my gateway animes was Darker Than Black. I really liked Code Geass. Oh, Akatsuki no Yona is really good as well. Um, there's so many. What's your PhD on? So I'm doing a DMA, which is still a doctorate, but it's a Doctor of Musical Arts. So at the moment, my study is on prepubescent vocal function in musical theatre repertoire. So analysing repertoire for perceived vocal load in things that are recommended for kids between the ages of 7 to 12. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing at the moment. Which is why I get super passionate about like the kids performances, because a lot of the times in, particularly if you put it on TV, I've noticed a theme of there being pressure on young singers to sound like adult singers, and it can introduce a whole host of problems, not just in contemporary either, but also in classical. I'm sure that there are more proficient classical background people like Elizabeth and others who could probably attest to the fact that even when a child is trying to sound like an adult, it's not, again, it might seem impressive, but at the same time the tonality isn't quite there, but it's also can potentially lead to problems in the future. Gosh, this channel is so wholesome. Thank you. I find that so interesting because there are other things that I like watch. I'll watch things that are not so not so wholesome, like animes with like gore and stuff in it don't really bother me. That like yeah. Oh, hey, Page Monster. Welcome. Favorite reaction? Don't make me choose, man. I can't choose. I cannot choose because, well, I mean, Floor Jansen really like confronted me. Yeba, my mind, that was a whole new thing. And as much as the Slaughter to Prevail react like shocked me, I left it with so many questions and my mind was just like turning over at such a speed that I actually wound up appreciating the fact that I got to watch something like that because again, the things that you guys recommend just open my mind and make me want to watch more. Ginger as well. Yeah, I think you guys have kind of like led me down the metal path because what I'm enjoying the most about my metal reactions is not just the vocals, which are really good, but well, good so far. And of course, within contemporary, we have to consider the fact that there are going to be things that people will do with their voice that aren't as efficient as other sounds. They just have to manage it themselves. So the thing that I'm enjoying is not just the voices, it's also the music. There are so many interesting musical ideas that happen in it, which you just don't find on the radio, which is really tantalizing to my ears because I didn't just study voice. We had to, like anyone who goes to a music university, even though you're a vocalist, you're studying with the musicians. So you're doing a music degree, you're not doing a singing degree. It's just your specialization is in voice. So a lot of the like more musical elements, I deeply appreciate being able to hear that, and I appreciate it. And sometimes, like in the Slaughter to Prevail video, sometimes the music elements that interest me allow me to sort of feed into it more and then adjust to the other things that are perhaps a little more confronting. So yeah, I'm enjoying this stuff. Are you going to do more Nightwish? Yes, I will. I just thought that at the moment, because of the fact that, um, oh God, because Marco took a step back, I thought I might just relax with the Nightwish at the moment, just to sort of give them that space, because it seemed that in his in the sort of announcement that he made, the attention on certain things was it just seemed like an unfair situation that he was in. So I wasn't 100%. Uh, I wasn't 100%, like, it didn't feel good to continue to also like directly after that. It doesn't feel good when you know it's kind of against the wishes of someone who's so integral to a lot of the performances that I react to. So I will definitely return to Nightwish probably soon, but I thought immediately after that was just like a little bit a little bit against kind of what that announcement was talking about. So anyway, one ginger to another, serious question. Is that color 100% natural? It is 50% natural. So I am naturally a strawberry blonde, and then I just put more red in it because I want it to be, I don't know, my mom's a full redhead, my uncle's a full redhead, my grandma's a full redhead, and this is me as a half redhead. Come on. I need no soul, not half a soul. Give me the, take it all. Could you make a funny face? Probably. Although I can do this thing with my lips where they go in opposite directions, which is really fun when you're working with children and you have to get into character. But yeah, I think all the musical theater kind of stops you getting self-conscious over making funny faces and doing strange things. Um, oh, waka waka waka. Okay, your reactions give me a lot to learn and to listen to as a person with poor hearing. Okay, well, I'm glad. I'm glad that the reactions are able to kind of help you guys dive a little more into the music elements, because it is true in just the same way that when I'm watching something where I'm not, necessarily a specialist, I'm always learning things. I imagine that it would probably be the same for music, but I think that every single person that you watch is going to bring something slightly different, and that's why I kind of like the reaction community, because you get people's experiences, and that experience informs the reaction. So you're always going to get something that's like slightly different from each one, and it just overall like builds your appreciation for what's happening. So I think that's really cool. What's your recommendation for finding a voice teacher during a pandemic? That is a really good question, Paul, because I do know that there's a lot of online courses that are available. I would recommend, if you can, either find an online course with a teacher who you either like what they do, either online, or they've been recommended to you by someone that you trust who does one-to-one online lessons or live group lessons. So I wouldn't necessarily, I'm not a huge advocate for courses where you're the majority of the time, or like all of the time you're completely by yourself, because one of the big parts of having a singing teacher or having a vocal coach is their ears are able to inform a different decision on your part for developing your voice. And if you don't have the ears for that, if you don't have the training, you won't necessarily know how to react to that content that you're being given, and it's harder to troubleshoot when something goes wrong. So I would definitely try and find someone online, because then you can do that at home. I know that I myself teach online, so I have a few international students, which is cool because I have a very limited amount of time on my hands available at the moment. But I teach online. I know that Elizabeth teaches online. I know that a few teachers also offer like their singing courses, but I would definitely heavily advocate for working with someone where you're going to get an in-time reaction from someone whose ears are trained to listen to those sounds. And also, it's almost like a semi-diagnosis if something's not quite going together, to know how to give you the right thing to continue to develop your voice. Some people will be able to learn from those kinds of offline courses really, really well, because it's a muscle. And like anything, if you put the time into it, you're going to progress. So yeah, but if you can find someone who can be like reactive to you when you're learning. There she is in natural light. Yes. Here I am in natural light. You can see my hair is nowhere near as bright as it is under the cameras, but I thought natural light might be nice to have like a different location for this live stream. And I just want to like hang out with you guys. So I think this environment's a little bit more chill, which is really nice. Favorite movie soundtrack. Oh, I just don't. Oh my God, I couldn't choose. I couldn't choose. Oh, no, don't. That's a hard question. That's a hard question. I don't think I can answer that one. Obviously, I like anything that's super epic. I love epic arrangements. But off the top of my head, I can't think of a particular movie where I'm like, God, that soundtrack, man. Although the Ghibli soundtracks, Chef's Kiss, they're so good. Ghibli, man. Studio Ghibli is amazing. Um, is that a running watch? Do you run? Only if there's zombies. I don't like running. You've seen me, right? I'm squishy. I don't like to run. Um, God. But yeah, so I do like exercising, but I running, I don't know. Maybe it's just because my general fitness. You know when you have like a lack of fitness and then you try to get into something and it's just I don't have anything like that would motivate me to push through that point in the running. So no running from me. Anyway, uh Conan the Barbarian. Okay, yeah. Okay. As a varsity athlete, I completely agree. Thank you. I don't look like a runner. Do you play any video games or like video game music? Yes. Although I must admit, for a time that the only video games that I actually played was first-person shooters. So I played a lot of Call of Duty, I played Battlefield, I played Halo. I guess Halo is like more than just a first-person shooter if you I don't know. Would you define Halo as a first-person shooter? Anyway, so um, music that I like. I loved playing Zelda, and part of that was the music. I know the music wasn't like intensely complicated, but just the visuals and the gameplay and the music just he was an playing Breath of the Wild was so much fun and just beautiful. So that one actually comes to mind, but it could just be because the art and the visuals in that game just beautiful. Climb up a mountain or watch the sunset, and then I don't actually have to climb up a mountain to see a sunset. You know, it's like that good. Fan of Resident Evil. I actually haven't watched or played, unfortunately, with that one. Um, hey, sorry I'm a little late. As I said before, it's better late than never, Tony. Better late than never. Ah, okay. Congrats on your 100K. Thank you. Could you do a video sometime about the very basics? I mean, words like contemporary with examples. I must admit, the word contemporary is pretty broad. It can mean a lot of different things, and what it actually stems from is for a very long time, at least in the pedagogy communities, people would refer to anything that wasn't classical as just non-classical. So I don't remember the name, but someone created this term. Was it Levetri? No, I think it was before Levetri. Anyway, someone created this term which meant commercial CCM, which is contemporary commercial music, which was basically a banner that would cover anything that wasn't classical. So you had classical, and then you had CCM, which is contemporary commercial music, which I also know is like Christian music. I think that's also a bit of an acronym error there, like two things are using it. But CCM in the pedagogy community means contemporary commercial music. And it hasn't really evolved beyond that. So under that banner, you have everything. You have musical theater in all its variations. You have, which is kind of wrong because traditional legit is definitely more on the classical side. You have all of the variations of musical theater. You have rock, you have pop, you have R&B, you have soul, you have blues, you have metal, you have post-hardcore, you have all of these different kinds of music styles which fall under CCM. So you are finding, or at least I am, at least because I'm looking at the literature and seeing how things progress, you find that different terms are starting to pop up for different areas. An example would be harsh vocals or extended vocal techniques for those that are in more of the harsher music style. but it's a slow process. It's a really slow process, and I think part of it is terminology is so controversial amongst the pedagogy community. Like, there are times where it's like, just let's just use this to mean this, and then we can progress and everything will be fine. So it's just a little bit, I do find that the term battle is like a very real issue with progress on like the contemporary side, because you got so many people that create their own methods and they don't have any attachment to like previous studies or the previous academics, or they haven't even looked at like the OGs in contemporary, and they're just like creating their own thing because it works for them. And then you have terms everywhere. It's just a mess. It's a mess. But I think also that stems from the fact that singing teaching is not a regulated industry by any means. Like, anyone can call themselves a singing teacher, and you could get someone like who has sung at gigs but has no pedagogy training or doesn't actually know anything about training the voice. They can call themselves a singing teacher just as much as I can call myself a singing teacher with, 3.5 music degrees and intensive pedagogy training. So, it's a little bit tricky sometimes, just a bit. Oh, thank you, Jacob. Oh, Fly Me Courageous by Driving and Crying is amazing. I will need to write that down because I won't remember that one. That one I haven't heard before. 1 second. Cool. All right. Can I reach high notes if I train? I do think that range can be expanded upon, but each person's individual range is going to be slightly different. And that will probably change as you age as well. As you get older, your voice tends to get a little lower. You'll probably notice this a lot if you're female, but then as you're a male, your voice will start to get a little higher as you get older. So female voices get lower as they start to age, and then male voices, I'm talking like near the end of sort of the cycle, male voices will start to get lighter because of muscular atrophy. So yeah, I would say range can be expanded, but how high you can go is definitely based on you as an individual, and there will definitely be parts of your voice that are more comfortable than others. In pedagogy, don't mean to sound, I keep using the term pedagogy. Pedagogy is like teaching, and then singing pedagogy is the teaching of singing. We refer to that comfortable range as your tessitura. So your tessitura is where you're most comfortable singing, but range is really just the highest and the lowest note you can sing. If you want to expand your tessitura, that will also take time and effort, but you can definitely do it. I would say in my experience, though, there are people that hit higher notes with a lot more ease than others. There's a vocal group that I'm a part of, and the altos hit such amazing, rich low notes that I could never dream of on my best day. I would have to be sick, and it would need to, like, the stars would have to align. I'd have to like sacrifice the right animal to the singing gods in order for me to make a note as low and rich and perfect as those altos. And at the same time, there's me up in like the soprano section, and they're like, go for G's, go for A's. I'm like, okay, sure. So I think it just depends. It depends on you as a person. I keep feeling like I spend so much time on each of your questions and I'm missing a bunch. I'm so sorry. Can I sing all 4 parts accurately in a barbershop harmony? With an a cappella app, and if you have the range to do so? Yeah, probably. Probably. Ah. Congratulations on your unique style. Cute, spontaneous, and professional with passion. Yay! Okay. Yeah, spontaneous, that's just really me kind of like running my mouth, isn't it? I just kind of say stuff and it doesn't hit me till later. That, yeah, it doesn't hit me till later. I'm like, should I have said that? Or I'll be editing and I'll hit something. And I'm like, what possessed you in that moment to say it like that? I'm a science teacher, and pedagogy is the most ambiguous term. It can cause any element of teaching. It's just given this meaningless name. So I would have said that pedagogy actually came first, and then teaching was an extension of that, because the use of the word pedagogy or pedagogue is actually really, really old. But I do think because it just means teaching, like teaching is kind of like the simplified version of that. So if you look at the history of pedagogue or pedagogy. It's a really, really old term which has actually survived time as opposed to have become obsolete. And I do think that people use the term pedagogy to kind of indicate a higher level of perhaps scholarly learning on their particular subject, which I think can be helpful. Um, so I would probably refer to myself as a singing pedagogue because of the amount of training and time and the kind of steps that I've taken to have a very strong grounding and knowledge on how to legitimately teach what I'm teaching, that I would use the word pedagogue or pedagogy for, because it really is an intensive study on how to do that thing. But I also 100% agree with you. Like, people throw terms around, they might not recognize the weight of it, and through that, it just becomes a mess. And it's kind of like I don't know, when people overuse words and then when they actually want to use the word, it doesn't have as much kick or as much bite to it anymore. Kind of loses its strength. So loses its meaning. So I agree with you, but yeah, I wouldn't say that it's a term that was just slapped on there. It's actually quite an old word. But yeah, 100% agree that it's convoluted and borderline almost meaningless when you use it all the time. Uh, do you answer super chats? Um, Is that where the colored box comes up? This is my first time doing a live stream, so I've never looked at it. Huge fan of your vids, inspired me to pursue bass singing. You and charismatic voice are the best. Yeah, hear that, Elizabeth? We're the best. uh, cool. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that inspired you to pursue bass singing. That's amazing. Actually, I'm gonna go up and see these colored boxes because I was talking and I missed a bunch of them, so just bear with me. Hey, Julia, congrats on 100K. This is Jacob. It's amazing to see how far you've come and how wholesome you are in this community. Is if you haven't already, Fly Me Courageous by Driving and Crying. Oh, yes, I looked at that one. Cool, cool, cool. Yes, 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 yes. Was there another one? Scrolling up. Because I'm really not used to, oh, I can only go up so far. I'm really not used to a lot of the online things, but I'm hoping at some point that I can make these a little bit more regular, because now I know I can just set it up on my phone. Like, I was a little bit intimidated when they're like, you need a HDMI cable to connect your camera and you need this and you need that. And I'm like, well, I mean, this I guess clarity on just my iPhone. Do you think that this is okay? This kind of think that this is fine? Loved your charts and graphs with the UTA reaction. Yeah, I can't help myself when I want to explain something. I get really excited, which has sometimes bitten me in the butt because I've explained something that perhaps goes past what the video was actually calling for. Ah. Oh, thanks, Rob. Cool. Could you react to Secret Love Song by Little Mix at the search? I'm sure I could probably add that one. I would just write that one down. The search. Secret Love Song, Little Mix. I quite like Little Mix. I think that they have worked very, very hard. And in the pop realm, I think they've done astoundingly well because uh, if you look kind of like the fight, I guess, the blowback against particular music groups, I do find that the female groups tend to get hit the hardest for things that are perhaps not pertaining to just the music, which, as we know, Jessie left Little Mix, and watching her talk about it, I was like, that's absolutely heartbreaking. And it kind of exposes just like kind of the element of the industry that, as much as we don't like it, it's not realistic to pretend it doesn't exist. And that is, just like on the internet, there are going to be people who don't like you and are willing to voice that opinion. So yeah, I do like Little Mix. I think they've done really, really well. And I'm sad that Jessie felt she needed to leave, but clearly that wasn't a good environment for her to stay in if it was making her hate the thing that she loved. So good for her on being able to make a choice for herself instead of continuing to kind of self-sacrifice just to maintain what was happening. Where is she streaming from? I am streaming from my balcony. I would move the camera around, but full disclosure, it is balanced very precariously. I took the mobile hold like the mobile clamp, the mobile phone clamp off a selfie stick and attached it to a little tripod, and it doesn't fit properly. It doesn't fit properly, which means that if I tap the phone, it just goes like that, and then you're gonna lose me. So I'm scared to touch the phone. God. Okay. RRK65, congrats on 100K subs. Do you also have a musical career? I must admit, a lot of my musical performances are always like private or corporate performances, which means people generally aren't allowed in. I get paid to play at people's events, which is awesome, and I have some fantastic musicians that I love working with, and they're really, really amazing. So I definitely have that kind of side of the community where if I wanted to put on like my own recital or my own performances or my own concert series, I would like they're just a phone call away with enough time to be able to book those kinds of gigs. But I kind of hit this weird point in uni where I was enjoying the academic more than the performance. Like I loved performing and it was really fun, but I was getting like super excited about the actual learning of how things worked. And it isn't until I've come out the other side of all this pedagogy training that I'm enjoying performing more. And perhaps it's because I'm outside of a university, which is a hypercritical environment. I would have said that the place that I studied at, you know, they're wanting to create really good musicians and really good vocalists, and your cohort wants to do amazing things, so you're constantly pushed and critiqued, and it's a lot. I do think that at times, as much as I was able to handle those critiques, it meant that there wasn't as much enjoyment with what I was doing anymore. Not that I was getting like heavily critiqued all the time, but you know, every single performance that you're doing is being assessed by your peers and your professors, and there's no way out of that. You're constantly getting the things that you do and the creative choices that you make kind of, they get dragged. They get dragged a lot until you improve, and it's all part of the process. You know, like break it apart, put it back together better. It's all part of that process. But it wasn't until I actually left the performance degree that I was like, yeah, performance and singing is fun, which is really great. So I'd say pedagogy actually reinvigorated my performance, because before I went to uni, I was performing all the time. I was writing like a song a week, and I don't know, that first year of uni kind of introduce you to just what exactly is expected of you if you're to be like a top tier musician. And it's not as easy in contemporary, I think, because you kind of have to find the performance outlets yourself. Whereas sometimes I think in classical, like there are always things you can play for, whether there's an orchestra that you can join, or these things. And I guess there are the equivalents in contemporary as well. But yeah, so to answer that question, I do perform, but it's mostly private and corporate gigs. Sometimes I'll do a public gig, but those are nowhere near as frequent. I'm much more likely to play at a private event or a corporate event and perform to them there, and it's all covers, it's all other people's rep. So I don't generally play my own stuff anymore because I just stopped writing for ages. Okay, I've got another one. Where'd it go? Green. Hi from London. Love your energy and hair. Wondering if you did a link up with Extreme Vocal Expert after Ginger Reaction. I did. As I mentioned to those of you that were here earlier, I filmed with her. The interview was not the interview, the Q&A was so long that I'm actually going to have to break it into two parts. And the Ginger Reaction that I did with her, as I was talking about earlier, I was hesitant to put that up on its own because a lot of the terminology and things that we were referring to kind of like connected with that Q&A. So it was a little bit of a decision to make on whether I do that. But I might put the reaction up first because editing the Q&A is taking a little while. But yes, it is filmed. And I'm hoping to have that up. Although it's been so long since I actually filmed it that I think that my sort of eye for editing and eye for what I like in my videos is changed slightly. So I'm hoping I can edit it to what I've kind of kept kind of as my standard now. So it'll continue going. I just factory reset my brain on your Ginger Reaction is probably my favorite comment ever. Oh, thanks. Cool. Sleep well, Emmy. They sell proper phone tripods at the camera shop. I use them all the time. I know, but I wanted to use what I had, and what I had initially was a D-Link to connect my actual camera, and then it looked like a potato when I put it through OBS, and I don't have the technical knowledge to just be able to um, fix that. I would spend more time on the internet trying to figure out how to make it look good than actually being able to do the other things that are at the moment are a time sensitive priority for me to do. So I was like, hey, the iPhone works, and I have a thing, and I thought they would just click together because they both use like a little screw at the bottom. But alas, no. Here we are with a tentatively balanced phone. Okay. Do you participate in a Big Fan Tiny podcast? I don't think I did. What is that? I don't know what it is. You shouldn't show us around anyway because you shouldn't show the show to internet strangers where you live. That is true, and actually that's also why I like scratched out my address off this silver button box, which we're gonna unbox at some point. But yes, agreed. You shouldn't show the internet people where you live. I'm sure that a lot of you are just like super friendly and chill, but there's also someone who I'm pretty certain is like subscribed just to dislike every video I ever upload like immediately. So, you get a mixed bag. You can't control who's watching you on the internet. So that is very good advice. Very good advice. Soren, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. Hey, Julia. Greetings from Denmark. Love your content and the mindset regarding to try music outside one's comfort zone. Hope to see more death metal. Yes, I've been appreciating being taken out of my comfort zone. So I really like that. Keep up the good work. I don't know if I'll necessarily react to a lot more death metal, but that being said, I don't really have like a set plan. Bold of you to assume I have any of this planned out. No, I'm just gonna try to get through my reactions as much as I can. For now, it's going all right. For a casual live stream, the phone is fine. It adds to your character and appeal. If you do a studio live stream, you'd probably want to set an agenda, and it would sound amazing, but feel stuffy. Yeah, I mean, I could set an agenda. I'm just enjoying talking to you guys right now, to be honest. I'm just enjoying that. It's still completely wild to me that I even have subscribers. As strange as that sounds, because you'd think, okay, you just hit 100K, that's a lot of people, but in my mind, like each of you is like your own person, and I think my brain just hasn't adjusted to the internet being that vast that there's that many people who watch my stuff. And yeah, I do like this kind of one-on-one. I feel more casual in this setting. Like I don't know, I might become more video Julia like if I'm downstairs. So the live stream Julia will just be chill in a giant shirt, and we can just hang out here on my balcony. Okay. Love the interaction. Thanks, Ken. I too love the interaction. Um, do you perform original stuff or covers? At my gigs at the moment, it is covers. Original stuff, I'm hoping to, at some point, perhaps put together. And I do sing a lot of jazz, but jazz, I think, once you make it your own, I would still say it's a cover. I would still say it's a cover. But jazz is different because you can manipulate it in whatever musical way that you want until it truly becomes your own. So it's a tricky question, and I think it would depend on the genre that you're in. So pop covers for sure. Jazz, I like to mess with them. I like to mess with those arrangements. I love performing. It sucks that I can't do anything now except rehearse. 100%, 100%. That is part of why I started this channel, is because I no longer had any creative outlet. Like, as much as people might think, oh, performing covers, that might be boring. Well, no, actually, I really enjoy it. I love it when you have like a big group of people and they're going, they're 5 drinks in and they're just having a ball. So I quite like that. And the last gig that I had was like that. They were super relaxed in the beginning, and then as it started to get into the night, they started to drift up to where the musicians were, which was us. And And then we started to do what's called a dance set. So for a lot of if you're doing weddings or if you're doing corporate or private or like parties and stuff, you will generally have, like at a wedding, you'll have like the service, and then you'll have like reception, and then you'll have dinner, and then you'll have dance. And then for a lot of the other pop things, you'll have at least dinner. You might have like afternoon, like snacks and stuff, and then you might have dinner. And if it's a big gig, then you will have like 3 dance sets afterwards, and it's like midnight or 1 a.m. by the time you're done. So, there's different music for different parts of the gig. And I really like it when people have like started to like relax a little more and they've let loose a bit more towards the end of the gig. So there's like the last 3 dance sets are perhaps the most vocally demanding because it's like it's music that makes you move. But I do like it when people kind of let loose a little more. It's very fun. Okay. Tank is here. Hey, Tank. I know Tank through Chase. Yeah, we've reached out and had a little conversation. So, hey, Tank, welcome to the live stream. How do you help students that get frustrated or if they blame themselves for something that may go wrong in lessons? I'm not a singer. I just enjoy videos. Hey, Nicole. How you doing? I hope you're doing good. So, how do I help my students if they get frustrated? Every student is different with how they handle challenges, and I like to break it down as if you are feeling frustration, that is whichever challenge it is, basically waving a red flag at you. And you can either break down and not pursue it and just be like, I'm fine just being here at the moment, or you can pursue that challenge and see what happens. So that's one way that you can look at it if you're getting frustrated. I think that happens more often than not because you'll have repertoire that you're comfortable singing, and then you'll have repertoire that like just it drives you nuts trying to get it right to make it sound good. And you can kind of help students to be comfortable with the process. So make them comfortable with the fact that things don't sound good usually in the beginning. And I can relate to that a lot actually, because there are lots of things that I started to pursue which sounded like absolute garbage. A big one was when I started learning musical theater. It was like the challenge at me was that I could not make musical theater sound musical theatery. It just didn't sound right. I sounded like a jazz singer who was trying too hard. And so those processes, you need to be accepting that you are not going to be the final product on your first try, and just making them kind of come to that understanding that that's how singing works. It's not going to be perfect on your first go. It's not going to be perfect on your 10th go. But each little thing that you do towards it is progress. Like Beyonce didn't come out of the womb sounding like that. She had intensive training from a very, very young age. So someone who's brand new to singing, looking at artists who've been honing their craft for, 10, 15, 20 years, it's not comparative. It's like the miles you put in is the miles you get out. And if you have a teacher who understands how to get you towards your goals, I think it becomes a lot easier to manage your expectations and to just enjoy the process of what's happening. So it is a very important question. It's a really good question because people do get frustrated because singing is this natural thing, right? But just like anything, you wouldn't go to the gym and expect to lift like the heaviest weight you possibly can, because that's not realistic for where your muscles are at that particular point in time. It's not realistic for the technique that you're using at that point in time. Singing is just coordination of muscles, and it's dictated by your brain. So it's harder to kind of train more fine-tuned coordination, but as you progress, it becomes easier. But that's a really good question. I'm sorry that I got so into that, but I am super passionate about making sure that students enjoy the process, because if you have this goal of being this incredible, amazing person in your very first lesson, it might not turn out as much as you would like it to be like that. But you can get there. You can improve, and improvement is where people really enjoy themselves. The first time you get that belt that you've always wanted, just tears. You'll feel really good. What do you think of Jeff Castellucci? I like him. That low subharmonic, low bass note that he did in Oogie Boogie was phenomenal, and now I refer him to my young bassers who are coming through. I've got one low bass, and he's young too. I'm shocked. I'm shocked his voice has developed as quickly as it has, and he's still a teenager. But I showed him Jeff Castellucci after watching that. Actually, there are a lot of times where I refer to artists that I've reacted to if I need an example for a student. about a particular thing, because analysis lets you know where it is. Please don't show us your surroundings. There are some really scary people out there who will look you up. Please be careful. I will be careful. I promise. Okay. Scrolling down. Okay. Where's the next one? Oh God, did I read out all of the super chat ones? Thanks, Julia and Howdy from Oklahoma. Thanks, Tom. Chaos. Have you heard of Billicore? It's melodic death metal from Australia. I have not. I haven't. Roots to Sever is a good song to start with if you want to try the genre out. Okay, I will write that down. Billicore, Roots to Sever. Thank you, Chaos. Okay. We need more ginger in your channel. Agreed. Thank you for your in-depth reactions. Truly appreciated from the US. Thanks, Dee. That's really lovely. We'd love to see more reactions with technically orientated breakdowns. I'm probably in the minority, but I seriously enjoy those. Very educational. Yes, I agree, Matthew. And I 100% will probably have those in the future just because that's how my brain works. Oh God, I've scrolled up and I've seen Elizabeth going, Julia, you have 1. I have 6. 6 what? What were we talking about when that comment came through? Oh God. Okay. Ah! You have 6. What were we talking about? Oh God, this is what happens when I run my mouth for too long. I don't know what's happening. Eratiosu? I would love to hear your opinion on Mamamoo's killing voice performance. I think I put it in the Discord. Please take a look. You won't regret it. Keep up the good work, Queen. Okay. Yes, it's been a while since I've done a Mamamoo reaction. And part of it is because when I go to film, something happens to my sound or something happens to my video and it wrecks the video. And then if that happens and I still want to react to the same thing, I want some space between when I last filmed it and when I film it again, so I've kind of like forgotten what happened. But I'll always say like I've seen it before if I actually have seen it before. So don't worry about that. But yeah, that happened with the killing voice one. Unfortunately, I filmed it. I also filmed one for Aya, and both got screwed up in some capacity. And I still to this day have not figured out what happened. So I need to just wait a little longer, and then I will definitely get back to the Mamamoo. Lonesome Twin. Would just like to thank all reactors, especially you, Charismatic Voice, and Beth Rawls, for making lockdown just a little more bearable. I'm so glad that it made it bearable, Lonesome. I know a lot of people are trapped inside, and I think that we wouldn't have coped as well as we did if we didn't have the internet and like outside resources to kind of connect with and just feel like we're still in our communities and feeling like we're part of something. So 100%. I somehow missed a lot of these. Who's this one? Oh, that was Tom saying thanks, Julia Hattie from Oklahoma. Okay. So scrolling through. Ooh, chaotic. G'day from Darwin. G'day, man. Love your work. I'd like to see you do now Obliviscaris. That is the second time. Did you put that in there earlier? Or NF the search? I'm gonna put both of those in my notes so that I can look them up later and put them into my list. Okay. And then there was Tom saying, thanks, Julia and Howdy from Oklahoma. Howdy. All right. Who are some of your favorite jazz singers? Good question, Joe. Favorite jazz singers would probably have to be, I love Ella Fitzgerald. I love Sarah Vaughan. I love Peggy Lee. She's amazing. I really enjoy some of the more modern jazz artists who I got to learn from. So I like Ellie Hoyt, Kristen Parati. There's a really good friend of mine called Olivia Kendamo, who is insanely good at what she does. It's one of the first times I've listened to an artist scat and then felt bad for the instrumentalist who has to solo behind her. Like it's amazing how finely tuned she's gotten her ears and how fast she can make her voice move in the same way that an instrumentalist would if she was soloing. It's really, really cool. But yeah, so I like that. The reaction adventures. Chase, Julia, Tank, and Charismatic Voice. I mean, I guess so. Yeah. Woo. Although I definitely would have to need like a superhero outfit that is flowy and big. I don't think a catsuit would be a good idea for me. Okay. You should sing for us. I probably should sing for you. My voice is a little tired from yesterday, but I could probably try like a jazzy type of thing. Okay. Forgive my microphone. I will do my best. Let's go. Mm. Do it the hard way and it's easy sailing. Do it the hard way and it's hard to lose. I took the hard way. Wait, that's the wrong words. Oh no! I chose a song. I messed it up. Easy sailing. Do it the hard way and it's hard to lose. Only the soft way has a chance of failing. You have to choose. I chose the hard way when I tried to get you. You took the soft way when you said we'll see. Darling, now I'll let you do it the hard way now that you want me. Sorry, that's Chet Baker, Do It the Hard Way, and the start of his little trumpety solo that he does there. It's pretty fun. Cool. That probably did not sound very good. I'm so sorry. Um, it is the morning. It's the morning times. Be kind. Be kind. It's the morning. What do you think of metal rock? I don't know enough about those kinds of genres in order to have an opinion. But what do you think? Do you think metal rock can have a comeback? I'm not sure. Okay. Ken! Good job! Thanks, man. Thanks. It's so weird. I can't. Aw, thanks. That was. Isn't jazz like blues that fell down the stairs? Um, they are. That's a good question, but it's not. It's not the same. It's connected, but it's not the same. So blues actually has a really sad background, um, because it came from African American slaves, and part of it was a lot of the communication that they were allowed to have was non-existent. So often they would sing to basically get through what is clearly a physically and mentally trying time. So blues has a bit of a sad background, but I'm glad that people had music during those times in order to get themselves through it. And then jazz, of course. I guess it all just kind of extended from Joplin because he had ragtime and then you had blues coming in and then they met together. So ragtime to me is a little bit more constructed. It came from someone who was classically trained. So that was Joplin. If you don't know what ragtime is, just imagine like that striding sound on the piano. But yeah, so then you kind of have the start of the jazz kind of era and you have the virtuoso who comes out. So think of people like, oh God, like Louis Armstrong. You think of people like Charlie Parker. Like Charlie Parker is a good example of someone who is very technically proficient and just moves through. Then you have further along in the journey, you have people like Miles Davis and even like way back in the beginning. So Louis Armstrong is kind of like 20s, if you want to think of it that way. And then as it progresses, you have these other jazz artists who kind of tend to dive into things that were a little bit more experimental, shall we say. So if you look at the jazz music played by Louis Armstrong and people like Ellington, it's a little bit more simple. And the musical ideas that are being explored were amazing for their time. But as we move along our jazz timeline, you get things that are a little more crazy. So I don't think they're the same because to me, there's a big difference between going, do it the hard way and it's easy sailing, or you'd be so easy to love, so easy to idolize our lives above so earth. Like it's different doing that and doing something like them that's got shall have, them that's not shall lose. For the Bible says, and it still is news. Mama may have and Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own. That's got his own. Like it's a different sound, and you're gonna get different vocal effects from that. So, an artist who might be on different things, you have look at Ella and you look at Billie Holiday. They might sing the same stuff, but there's a different approach to it. Anyway, and I probably missed a bunch of stuff. Where is the other thing? Sorry, I got carried away. Jazz and blues is not the same. Don't ever change. Thanks, Tank. Do you play any instruments? I do. I play piano and guitar, but I don't play either of them well enough. I can self-accompany myself on both, but I wouldn't hire me for a gig on either of those instruments. If you had a chance to talk to Floor, what would be your first question? Will you help me? No. No. She's amazing. I wouldn't even know what to ask. Tom Rice donated. Paul, you have the voice of an angel. Thank you for all that you do. I love your channel. I hope you have a lovely day. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being what I believe to be the only vocal reactor who's reacted to Bandmade. Will we be seeing the acoustic reaction? I believe so. Yeah, I filmed Puzzle, so I just have to edit it and put it out. Hi, Julia. I'm glad I subbed to your channel. Nightwish brought me to you. I remembered your reaction to growls. Check out Revamp for more floor growls. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I must admit, the way that I sing jazz and the way I sing blues and the way I sing musical theater, completely different. So jazz is super pulled back for me, and then musical theater is... I first learned how to do musical theater by placing things really high in the front of my mouth. And then you kind of just make it sound more musical. Like, what's musical theater? On the side of the road. It's more like your articulation needs to be cleaner and your sound needs to be cleaner. That would be how I would describe that. Whoa, she's not wearing black. No, I'm not. Okay. Oh God, I'm missing so many of the things that are popping up. Come back. Scroll. Oh yes, I sang. You sound a bit like Rebecca Vogel-Apley. Thank you. I don't know what she sounds like, to be honest. Love how you suddenly sound American when you start singing. That's because most people sing with an American accent, to be honest. Julia would kill as Jessica Rabbit. Amazing as usual. Now do the subharmonics. I can't do that. Please and jazz. I love the vibrato. Thanks. Amazing scout. Cheers. Cool. Why can I picture you lounging around a piano in a long sparkly black dress in a smoky underground bar? I have done that, but it was a long purple velvet dress. So, sorry there. Yay. Yes, Americans have an accent, Joe. Okay. You know what would be cool? All the top vocal coaches, reactors, you, Elizabeth, RVA, Beth Ross, Sam Johnson, have a vocal coach podcast with Floor as the host. Cool. Hey, Chase, how come you don't sing for us? Waiting for an answer there, Chase. Kidding. Okay. Bonjour from France. Bonjour. Pix purple velvet dress. Ooh. Maybe it was like a Gatsby themed thing, so I'll send that to you later, Elizabeth. Goodness, have I kept up with all of the things? I hope so. Have you done a reaction to American Pie featuring Don McLean? I have not. I shall tell you a little secret about American Pie. It is in almost every single request that I get at weddings and private parties. And to this day, I still don't know all the verses. In fact, usually it's the like leaving the room music, and I only have to get to the third one. But this one time, someone kept hanging around for all of the verses that happened after it, and it hit the point where I didn't know any of the words anymore because normally people are gone by then. You hit like the fourth verse, everyone's like toddled out of the room. And so I gave him the microphone and let him sing the remaining verses because I didn't know the lyrics. Oh, God. Vocal coach reactor podcast. Yes, I'm in. I'm totally in. Going for the sixth octave. Up there. Sorry. Oh, RIP headphone users. I'm so sorry. I like that the charismatic voice is here. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Would love for you to check out Kim Sejong. Sejong. I see. Kim Se. Kim Se. Okay, written that down. Hey, I think you heard about Marco leaving Nightwish. How do you feel about that? I kind of already touched on that earlier, and that's why I haven't reacted to Nightwish like recently, because I just wanted to kind of respect his wishes of stepping out of the spotlight, because he's usually like a frontman in his own right in those performances. So I kind of stepped back, not permanently, but just for now to kind of give him that space. I think you need to say, where am I going with this? I think you need to make choices that are the best for you and what you're comfortable with. Even if you have a huge following, I think he's made the right choice if that's what he's comfortable with and that's how he's going to look after himself. Because it's just as demanding as the industry can come across as, it will be never ending if you never say the word no. So I think he's made the right choice for him, and I respect that choice. It takes a lot to step back from that, and yeah, I'm 100% behind him if that's what he wants. Say, is it Privyet? Privyet? Is that what you wanted me to say? Maybe. Congrats on the milestone. Hope that you'll check out some Stained and Hailstorm in the near future. Aaron Lewis and Caribou Spoons. I'm writing it down. Stained and Hailstorm. Cool. Okay. Oh my god, I didn't even notice that the charismatic voice is here. How? How is that possible? You should bring your extreme vocal techniques friend on a show. Yep. We've got... You could make at the charismatic voice a moderator on the channel. I could. Can you react to some really bad recordings of Elizabeth singing? Kirk! Bruh. I would support her no matter what she sounded like. Okay. That would come from Kirk, though. Oh. I need to make sure I'm staying on top of these things. I'm just... Oh, JB says congrats. Thanks. I don't know how I'm going with all of the super chat things. Charismatic voice. I mean, what bad recordings? She's got you there. She's got you there. Okay. Curious if you have heard the Japanese artist Rihanna. I have not. There's plenty of like bad stuff from me. If we really need to react to some bad stuff. Who is the most talented young vocalist? The most talented young vocalist you have ever heard? Lexi Walker. I think that's her name. Oh man, Lexi Walker. Listen to her sing the song. Lexi Walker performing the song. What is it? Once More. It is crazy to think that she's like 12 or 13 in that song, and yet she has very little tongue retention, and her belt is so free. It's genuinely insane. If we were to do a duet, what would you choose? Oh, I don't know. If it's going to be classical, I'll need some training. If it's contemporary, Do you even do musical theater or pop or what is this? I don't know. Yeah, I'd be down for that if you want to. Okay. Flesh God Apocalypse, prologue, epilogue, pretty please. It's Italian symphonic death metal. Okay, let me just put that in my note thing. I have a notes app open. Oh, Julia mentioned your Discord earlier. Yeah, so I'm pretty certain that the Discord is for like Patreons. I think. So mine is public if you want to join that. But I think Elizabeth's is for other people. Can you talk Elizabeth into doing Bandmade? I love your reaction so much. We have talked about Bandmade before. But talking about something doesn't necessarily mean that you have to react to it. So I think people should react to what they would like. And I started reacting to them because I was curious what a Japanese band with them dressed as maids would sound like. So, you know, although I'm pretty certain that another group, which is called Baby Metal, has been requested a lot. And the problem with that one is the problem with that one is a lot of the copyright things. I don't think people understand just how much the copyright thing affects what we upload and when we upload it, because it plays a massive part. So Baby Metal's another one, but yeah, copyright's a big thing. So for example, all of my Bandmade videos are not monetized, because if I wanted to monetize them, they would put a worldwide block and I wouldn't, the video wouldn't be up. So, you know, you have to make a choice sometimes on the monetization thing, but it's big. Yeah. The Charismatic Voice Discord is for Patreons and students and me. I snuck on in there. Okay. Okay. You have to see Baby Metal at least once. Yeah, maybe. What do you think of Grace Vanderwall? It's been a while since I've listened to her. If I was to be able to, yeah, it's been a while since I've listened to her, so I can't make any comments. In general, though, a lot of what I hear from young performers are things where I'm like, that's gonna, but your future. Like, I get like a protective mama bear over all these young singers. Some of them do really well. Some of them do insane things. Like Lexi Walker is an example of a very young voice who does insane things with like almost no tension. For me, it's when the tension is introduced, because when you're young, things are still settling. Your cartilage isn't settled. Your muscles, the muscular contour of your pharynx isn't set in stone yet. And I mean, the pharynx is highly malleable, but you know, there are certain things that develop and then kind of become your standard shape. And I see this a lot in people who haven't had to sing in or speak in other languages before. When they go then try to make shapes that their voice isn't used to making, it's really difficult because your sort of set articulatory setup is different. And yet people who have experience with speaking or singing in a foreign language, things tend to be a little more malleable and you tend to imitate a little bit better. So think of it in those terms, if that helps clear that up a little more. Endos says, "Grats on the 100K. Very new sub. Been enjoying the videos. Binged about 20 when I first discovered the channel." Thanks, Ben. My videos go up slowly, so I think the only ones who are able to binge are the new subscribers. Angelina Jordan appears. Her singing is effortless. You need to see more than just "I put a spell on you." Yeah, okay, fair. What is Julia needs a? What is that? Taught Julia to say hello in Russian. Sure. I'll do it again for you. Привет. I love how you do more than just go ooh and ah. Sometimes I ooh and ah, but I'm oohing and ahhing because I'm about to like spend 5 minutes diving into whatever the heck just happened. Just joined to say I'm so in love with this woman. Just by smiling, she turns my day into the best day ever. Congrats for the silver button. Much love and best wishes. Thank you so much, Maraksa. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but thank you so much. You know who you are. Have you ever listened to Regina Spektor? Yes, I have listened to Regina Spektor. She's amazing. Charismatic voice did a great copyright video. Yes. So Elizabeth has been massively helpful, and there are. I was a little bit scared, a lot scared actually, with the copyright stuff in the beginning, and a big part of it was Elizabeth basically kind of holding my hand on a few things, because she's infinitely more experienced with sort of going on little fights. Don't mess with Elizabeth; she'll fight her. At least on copyright. But then there's also Kirk as well, who is always happy to help. But we are building like a little community, I think, and it's really nice to have people who are sort of on the other side of the camera as well to talk to, which is good. Did you wear your kilt to this party? Apparently, Kirk's going to wear his kilt to their 250K, which, by the way, congrats on your 250K. That's amazing. That's so cool. All for one. Congratulations from Texas. Okay, so we have been chatting for an hour and a half now. Do you think we chat a little bit more and then we unbox the button? What do you reckon? What do you think? Oh, wow. Thank you so much to those who have like tuned in like a time zone that is not favorable. I really tried to find a time through the polls that would work for the majority of people. I'm kind of glad that you chose the 9 a.m. time for me, though, because I had a really late teaching night, and now I'm had a bit more energy, got to have a little bit more of a sleep in, because the 7 a.m. that would have been rough. Anyway. 1 a.m. is not that bad. I mean, it depends on who you are. Like 1 a.m. for me, not that bad. Used to gigs that go well into the early mornings, but it's not that bad for other people. That time is just ungodly. Like you can't keep up people who are used to going to bed at 9 p.m. up till 1 a.m. It's not very nice. Okay. All right. So, do you think it's time we unbox the button? Do you reckon? Oh, Richard says, congrats on 100K, Julia. You and Elizabeth are two of my most favorite reactors. I love how you both break down the vocal performances so well. Thank you so much, Richard. I really appreciate that. That's really, really cool. All right. People are saying, yes, it's time. It is time. Okay. I have my little pocket knife here. We are going to unbox the silver button. Could you imagine if I opened it and it had like my name spelt wrong? That would be so funny. I would never change it. Here it is. Okay. Time to unbox the button. Ah. Okay. Cutting through the thing here. Oh, okay. I'm like trying to get it in the camera. Ah. Knife away from you so you don't cut yourself. There we go. Oh God, oh no, that is cut through. Cool. See how Gumby I am in real life. Okay. Oh, thank you, Alves. That's amazing. I appreciate that. Oh, okay. Yes. Oh God, the amount of times my last name has been like brutalized. I think it's like when you graduate and you get your degree, like diploma. It's if your name isn't like the equivalent of white bread, so really easy to read. It's like a rite of passage to have your name absolutely butchered by the person reading out all the names. Okay, don't cut yourself. I'm not there to patch you up. I haven't cut myself. Okay, so we've got like a foamy thing. What's in the box? Tell me what's in the box. Yes. Oh, okay. I have a piece of card. It says, congratulations on your subscriber milestone. We are honored to take part in recognizing your achievement and want your experience to be exceptional. This award was inspected and packaged with great care by Rick. If your reward was damaged during shipping or if you have any questions, please contact us. Thank you, Rick, for packaging this with great care. Oh, now I have another thing. Some 100,000 subscribers. Just how far you have come. If each of your subscribers were a light year, they could take you from one side of the Milky Way to the other. That's far. Hey, I didn't know that. Cool. And it's why today we're so excited to celebrate your special YouTube journey with you. Not only have you brought a unique voice and style to the world, you've also created valuable connections and built a community along the way. I'll say, you guys are amazing. Congratulations on this amazing milestone, just one of many things that we hope will follow in the future. After all, there are countless others out there who have yet to discover your passion and dedication. Whether they come to your channel to learn something new or just for a laugh, a whole new audience is waiting for you to inspire them, just as your growing community continues to inspire you. We can't wait to see what you do next, and we'll be with you every step of the way. Yours sincerely, Susan. God, speaking of butchering names, was Shiki. Help. I don't know how to say that. Okay. Yeah, last names. So my last name constantly gets pronounced as Nilin. It's nylon, like the strings on a guitar. It's just an I, not a Y. Oh, they spelt it right. Okay. It's coming out. It's coming out. Ah, maybe it's coming out. Okay. There it is. Oh my God. That's my name spelt right. Oh, that's so cool. Hey, this thing's pretty cool. Oh God, that's my face. Okay. Yes. This is really cool. Thank you so much. Wait, what? Susan's last name is pronounced Satan? Oh my God. That's not very nice. Unless that's actually how it's pronounced, in which case that's a little awkward. Yay! This is so cool. Thank you so much, you guys. Like, this is 100,000 of you guys in a on a this is the plaque from 100,000 of you guys. That's amazing. I couldn't have done this by myself. I mean, I do the filming and the editing and the uploading and all of that by myself, but you don't just get this unless people are joining you and being part of your community. And this is really, really cool. This is super cool. Thank you so much, guys. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. And we have another one from Always. Thank you so much. Oh. The thing is, I would like to hang it in my thing, but I use a paper background and you can't hang anything on it. So, I don't know. I want to be able to hang this so I can be like, there's my people. That's what they did. That's so cool. Oh, congrats and on to 200,000. God, they're already wanting more. That's gonna be really, really cool. Oh, this is amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much to every single person who subscribed to me and has supported me, and just like even on days where I get comments that are maybe not so nice, there are like so many others that are just so lovely and supportive and positive, and that really, really helps. And without YouTube, I also wouldn't have overlay on the video. See, Elizabeth helps me. So I forgot where I was going with that. The thought train has not just left the station, it has fallen off the rails. Yes, I do have squinty eyes. When I smile, my eyes disappear. I get those like half moon anime eyes, and they just do like that. Good point. So we're going for 1 million now. God, I just hit 100,000. So for my goals with this channel, I thought that I had like achieved, like when I first hit 100 subscribers, I lost my mind. So 100,000 is a lot, and then the idea of 1 million, that's a lot as well. I mean, I'll keep putting the content out, and if it grows, it grows, because part of why I wanted to make this channel is so that I could share my insights as someone who's like, you know what, I won't be humble. I've trained a lot. I've done a lot of training. I've done a lot of in-depth research. I've buried myself in academia and also performing. So to share some of the insights which I've gained from doing that has been really, really cool. And to have people appreciating that and learning from that, that's that is awesome. So I'm super, super glad that people have enjoyed it enough to want to know more. That's been really amazing. God, imagine the 1 million live chat. Guys, you're jumping ahead of me really quickly here. Um, yeah. 100K is a decent sized town. Yes, it is. It is a decent sized town. Yay, the internet connecting us from all sides of the world. 2 million stream when? Yeah, okay, Caleb. Thanks, man. Um, you're here? That's really cool. Oh god, to give you perspective, it's like every single person in and around my city of Darwin was subscribed to you. That's amazing. Yes, quarter million. 200K next month. Jesus. I am doing my best, but I'm a bit busy at the moment, so I think one upload a week is kind of where we get to. At the moment, we're at about 129, almost 130. But we have to keep. I just have to keep uploading. That's the main thing. I just have to make sure that I'm editing and uploading and stuff. What time is it where you are? It is 10:30, which means we've been chatting for an hour and a half. It hasn't felt like that long. That's amazing. Oh, Angelo says merch. I wouldn't even know what merch to put on it. Would it just be a t-shirt that says okay, okay, so? Like, because I feel like I say that a lot. Or just like a chibi version of me falling down because I'm clumsy. Oh, gosh. What's your analysis on Julia's 200K nearing? Please don't tell me the answer to that. Um, yes, I will never upload something that I don't feel good about. I had one video where I uploaded it because people asked for it, and I thought I'd navigated it as best I could. But even when I was watching it, I don't know, it just didn't quite hit how I wanted it to me rewatching it. And I put it up because people asked for it, and I don't regret uploading it, but it did let me know that I probably wouldn't in the future upload something that I am like not like super confident in. Not confident, not like that I didn't feel was good enough compared to my other stuff. Although as I've kept making videos and editing and uploading, my process for filming and my process for editing and uploading is actually, I think it's improving. So if I look way back to my very first ever videos, like you can tell a huge difference between my sort of skills with the YouTube thing then and then later on. I feel like I'm getting the hang of it and doing better. I'll design you a logo if you like. Oh, thanks, Andrew. That's very nice. Um, Julia, why did you blush so much? It's very cute. I just have no skin tone, so the blood rushes to my face, and it's really obvious. Oh. Um, yeah, I'd be happy to work on a logo. I've actually been looking into it. How about calling your subscribers the choir? Actually, that's a good point. Should we have like a subscriber name? I never really, because we all come from so many different. We all had so many different backgrounds and things that we might want to be called. So, what would we like? What would we like to be called? Shall we put it to a poll? I don't mind. Seems like someone has said your editing skills has gotten better. Yeah, I changed the background as well to a light blue one because I must admit, I look back at my earlier videos and my eyes are just like, oh God, that's so white. Damn, it's whiter than me. And I'm like a Fenty 100 shade. God, yeah, the Nyloneers. That's like the Lumineers. Oh, Nylon Nation. Hey, that sounds really cool. Nylon Nation. I mean, yeah, that's kind of cool. Cool. We already have a name already. It's the Julia Army. Oh, okay. Collect suggestions for the subscriber names on Discord and then make a poll. Austin, you are onto something. Yeah, man. That's really cool. Um, that's so cool. Oh, baby Jesus and noise are all good for the match. I could definitely do that. Nylon Nation is hey, Elizabeth likes the Nylon Nation. Yeah, okay, cool. Nylon Nation sounds like a K-pop fan group. I guess it is. I guess it is. Major okay. Julia Army. Okay, so we got a few ideas. Are you kidding me, Floor? Just put it on like a mug. Okay. A how dare you t-shirt. Oh, God. People like the Nylon Nation. Or like Julia Minions. Okay. Maybe you could call us the collective. I must admit, when I put out like little posts on my community page, I do call you guys the collective a lot. But I don't know, the collective to me sounds almost like a little cult. But I mean, a cult about music knowledge and liking music and having fun. Maybe that's not so bad. Because I don't mind contrary opinions, so it's not going to be as bad as like a real cult, I guess. Oh, Elizabeth's the Charismaniacs? Hey, sounds so good. Damn, damn, damn. Yeah, Nylomaniacs doesn't really, that doesn't sound as good as the Charismaniacs. That sounds so good. Can we expect something of your singing? I sang like a little thing earlier. It was just an offhand little like jazz thing that I did, but it wasn't, yeah. I wouldn't say I've always wanted to join a cult. So I wouldn't say that I was like putting on a performance. How would you react if Floor did a video chat on your channel? I would be very interested to know what she had to say. I like the fact that, from what I've heard about Floor, she appreciates people who will technically break things down, and that's something that I try to do either in the moment, and then if not, then with Caption Julia, I do try, but it's. But yeah, I don't know how I'd react to that. I would be so interested to talk to her because with the variety of things that she does, I would love to know her process of acquiring that and whether she ever had any moments where she had sort of competing techniques that were wearing her voice either down or made them stronger. Because cross training can make your voice stronger, but there's like a period of time where your voice is so proficient in one thing and so not proficient in another that it starts to get a little confused about what you actually want to do. And it can start to not hurts, not hurts, but it's just like your voice gets confused about the execution of particular techniques. Be different and don't call us anything. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Okay. The hands-off chase. She's out. God. Oh gosh. Okay. This music does something to my insides merch. That sounds pretty good. This is amazing. The Nihiloist. That always sounds like a nihilist, which I mean, 14-year-old Julia was pretty much a nihilist, so there we go. Hashtag the vocal nerds. I feel like hashtag the vocal nerds would be a good hashtag for like a podcast with all the reactors as part of it because, I mean, nerding out over voice. That's so good. The Nillionaires. The Nilionaires. I don't know if my name was Nilin, the Nillionaires sounds good, but Nilionaires, I don't know if it lands the same. Not necessarily vocal burnout. She did experience burnout before Nightwish. Right. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, that would be really cool to talk to her about. Oh, let's talk about Flora, no talk about Dimash. That's because Dimash is insane. And I think because he's a male artist, because I'm a female singer, naturally I will physically understand a little bit more the processes of a female vocalist. Not all female vocalists, and that's obviously a very blanket statement. But Dimash, there are things that he does where I'm never gonna like vocally be like, I myself don't understand a lot of the sounds that he makes, like from a physical perspective. Mentally and intellectually, I can break down everything that he does, because he does a lot of it, but everything that he does is something that has been observed in other styles and then developed, and there are actually legitimate ways of explaining the things that he does vocally. He just does so many of them, and there are parts of his voice that as a female, you're just not going to have that kind of tactile understanding of. So Yeah, I do talk about Flora a lot, and part of it is because she is female, so that's kind of my bad. Too much is male, be sure can sound like a female. I would relate stronger to him using his second register than him using his lower register, for example. What about Sohyang? Oh my god, I actually had this like dream if I ever go to Korea with my friend who speaks Korean, if we would ever be able to like talk to Sohyang, because that would be amazing. I probably shouldn't put it out into the universe because now it will actively like work against me. Okay, bye Andrew. Thanks. Yeah, hashtag vocal nerds, right? Yeah, that sounds great, doesn't it, Elizabeth? That sounds awesome. Bye Andrew. Any chance for more ginger? Hell yeah, of course more ginger. Yes, my god. How old are you? You don't look older than 22. Oh, let's play this game. Guess. Thanks, Tim. That's really lovely of you. How hard is it to analyze voices in unfamiliar languages? I wouldn't say that it's that unfamiliar because I have had to sing in a few different languages. So things like placement and the actual sound quality and timbre quality, unless it's something I haven't experienced before, like with the harsh vocals, generally it's not too hard to break down sounds in foreign languages. The one thing I will not comment on with a foreign language is the articulation, and things that a native speaker or someone who speaks that language might understand. I'm probably not going to mention that. So I wouldn't say the sound or the music is difficult to analyze in foreign language, but articulation, like I'm not gonna comment on that unless I speak that language. Yeah, it's probably more important. Oh, we've got a few guesses on the age. Okay, so we've got 24, 27, 30, 29, 25, 27, 26, 26, 27, 26, 24. Oh, lots of 29, 22, 33, 30, 28, 22, 32, 26, 28. Okay, 21. So 27 is the final answer. 56. Hey, if I look like this at 56, you know, I'm happy with those genetics. 48. I do joke with some of the kids that I teach. They're like, "How old are you?" And I'll be like, "I am 52." And they're like, "You're the same age as my mum." It's pretty cute, but also they have no idea how old I am. 7 of you were born on a leap day. I'm not good enough to know. Like, I'm not good enough at maths to know what that would be. Not on a leap day. Oh, okay. Some sort of magical voice fairy. So 1003. Let's make that. My age is 1003. I like that. Pretty lady, don't tease me with the wrong age. She's 18. Not quite. Not quite, but thanks. Yes, to kids, I am the oldest thing in the world. This is true. 31, 28.42, ageless. Oh, okay. I really want you to become popular not only in your own country, but also in Russia. I look with emotion. Actually, it was interesting. I had like a moment with Russian commenters on my first Dimash video, but there's also a channel which does like a Russian translation of my Dimash videos. And for funsies, I decided to translate the comments under that video. Oh boy, did they not like that video. Like at all. Like at all. So that was interesting. Final answer is 1003. 30. Cool. 27, 27. I'm actually wondering if I should put my actual age up because now you guys have like my full name and also my birthday if you're on Instagram. So maybe I shouldn't give away the year of my birth. You're not older than me. I'm 46. Haha, joke's on you. I am 1003 years old. Your fans could be the ginger snaps. Oh, that is so cute. Oh my god. Don't do it. Leave us guessing. I might not put my age up. What is your passport ID number? Well, now that you've asked Kirk, I trust Kirk, so I'll tell everyone. What is your mother's maiden name and the name of your first pet? You're as old as Floor is tall. Yeah, Floor's pretty tall. You're a woman, so they stop having birthdays around 25, don't they? I have a birthday party every year because I'm a Boxing Day baby, and I just have a little party to myself. Happy birthday to me. Good. So Julia is actually an immortal elf. 1003, baby. Like, what can I say? None of us can get into Australia, or you out right now, so you're all good, Julia. I would like to do some more international work. I spent time working in China, which is why I enjoy reacting to the K-pop stuff, because I worked for an entertainment company that was like like part of one of these bigger K-pop media kind of companies, and I enjoyed being able to work there, even though it was really, really intense, and I got to see like a side of that industry that I wasn't exposed to yet. So I will be reacting to more K-pop just because I feel like there are things that I can provide an insight on from working behind that. Very important question. What would it take to convince you to move to Arizona? I'm not sure. I'll go wherever work is, to be honest. That's what drove me overseas in the first place a little while ago. I love working in different areas and doing different things. But I would definitely visit Arizona just to hang out. Yeah. What is your Chinese zodiac? I'm not telling you because that will give away one of my birth years. One of you, buddy. I am 1003 years old. That is final. You have the most beautiful sounding voice that I ever heard. Maybe I have problems with my ears. I mean, thank you. Everyone is different. Although I have to stop speaking on my vocal fry. I do that a lot, unfortunately. And it's bad because if you use your vocal fry all the time, your voice gets really tired. Any more Aurora coming soon? After listening to that first song, I binged it. I binged Aurora, which means any reaction I basically do to her in the future has got to be a deep dive. It's not going to be like a first time reaction because I just had to float away in the beauty of her voice. So just letting you know that. 1003, you don't look a day over 950. Thank you. Oh, that's the best compliment I've ever received. As an American who's been to Australia, Australia is bigger than America. Is better than America? Yeah. I don't know. I've never been to America. And right now, obviously, I wouldn't want to go. I don't know. There are some strange things that we're seeing, which on the outside just look a little bit odd. I don't know. I would just parachute directly to Elizabeth, and then that's it. Okay. Ken, thank you so much. I got a little sticker. Awesome. Julia can't be Melisandre. I know Melisandre. I've got the actor who plays Melisandre. Stunning, gorgeous. Yes. It was you that got me hooked on Aurora. Thank you for that. I mean, thank the subscribers who suggested her because now we can all be hooked on Aurora together. Don't come to America, we're a mess right now. I think different places are worse than others, perhaps. It's a question of perspective. Yes. Yes, we'll come up with a work excuse at the moment. Actually, I had a friend he was a producer when I was working in Beijing, who was like, "Would you ever come to LA like for fun?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I'd have to have a work reason to go." And it's because I am like a sole trader, like all of my business runs through me as a sole trader. Having a work reason is genuinely a legitimate reason why you would maybe be able to go somewhere. So that is like no joke. If you're a sole trader and you need to go somewhere or you want to visit somewhere, it's a really good idea. If you can perhaps link it to work in some way. So work is like a massive motivator if you're going into it. That's just like a general tip. John, thanks, man. What a cute sticker. Are you still writing your own music and performing? I stopped writing my own music when I was in my first year of university because what I was hearing in my head, I wasn't able to physically play or sing, which was really confronting because it was like when your musical mind expands, it gives you the capacity to also expand your technique as an instrument. But my musical knowledge was expanding at a rate that significantly like outpaced what I was able to develop muscularly and physically. But it meant that what I wanted to write, I didn't have any way of kind of physically articulating, and my sort of music notation skills are, I don't notate all that often. I read sheet music, but actual notation, it's a slow process for me because it's been a while since I've had to do it. But yeah, so that's when I stopped. So I don't really write my own stuff anymore. If you are 103 years, your Chinese zodiac is the snake. Yeah, man. Okay. I'm charging my phone to watch you. Oh, thank you, OT4. Parachute, is it a fortress? Yes, let's imagine it's a fortress that, like, Elizabeth lives in this beautiful big fortress and just, I don't know, walks around in gowns and is majestic. So let's just imagine that. It's easy to picture, right? Yes, more Sohyang is coming. I'm hoping to do that. Ah, a soul trader. I mean, that's why I did jazz, right? Because I'm a soul trader and I'm a ginger. Okay. I've been asking for a long time for a reaction of Alex the Terrible Bad Guy, but Yulia ignores me. I'm not ignoring you. I just tend to revisit my artists at a bit of a slower pace. Oh, thanks, Kirby. She says, congrats, Julia. Thank you so much, Kirby. Majestic imagery. Right, it's easy. You just hit me right in the reels. I do music notation for a living. Right, Austin? Oh, man. It's, you need to stay on top of it. Otherwise, your like ability to transcribe just gone. So I did it when I had to do advanced jazz theory. And from that point onwards, because a lot of your work as a singer is actually memorization. So unless you're actively composing, unless you're a composer, your music notation skills can disappear really quickly. I have found it's definitely something you want to stay on top of. Kind of like your sight singing skills. Sight singing is another skill you want to stay on top of if you want to maintain it. You need to visit Finland and other northern countries, Denmark, Sweden. I'm hoping to. Love Bites and Nemophila are two all-female bands beside Bandmate that need to be reacted to. Okay, I am adding them to my list, and we'll go from there. Okay, cool. Can you listen to music just for a beat or for a vibe and not pull it apart? I could, but I think that would be, you know what? I could do it as like a video where I don't make comments and you'll have to see me physically fighting myself not to make a comment. It's hard when it's every part of your life. Yeah, singing is every single part of my life. It's my study, it's my work, it's everything. So I love it. Wayne, sorry about that. Been a sub for a while. Proud of the work you put in for all of us. Thank you. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you to every single subscriber that I have. It's been amazing. Have you heard anything by McAlmont and Butler? I haven't. David McAlmont. I will add his name to my little thing. How do you decide what you are filming next? That's a good question. I kind of go with what I am, kind of what I think I would like to listen to next if I had just watched the previous video. So I have like a couple little things that I put as part of filming. And the first one is I want to be able to say things that I would either be comfortable saying to the artist themselves if they were like right in front of me. Obviously, I might not fangirl quite as hard because that can become like err on the side of maybe unprofessional. If it was Flora and I was just like, oh my God, you're so amazing. But yeah, it's so I try to think of, if I just watched the previous video, where might be an interesting thing to go to next, if that makes sense. Because I do like to have a variety. I try not to have too much of the same happening all the time, but enough of it that like people who enjoyed one thing might connect and relate to the next thing that comes out. So I hope that I've been able to manage that so far. Is the E one in Oogie Boogie the lowest note you've heard? Yes, that is definitely the lowest note I've ever heard. Duff says you should use ninja stars to pick your reactions. That would be great, except I'm a bit unco when it comes to like equipment. So if I threw it, it'd probably bounce off something and like get me in the eye or the head or something. Carl says, small thank you for all the edutainment. P.S. Check out Falling by Harry Styles. Brit Awards performance great. Oh, cool. Harry Styles Falling. Can do. Elizabeth currently sporting a pink fuzzy onesie. Let's be real. We should have a onesie party. Would you guys like that? We should have a onesie party. That'd be fun. I could have it on my Discord so that people can join in. Can you listen to any new music without analyzing it? If listening to music and vocals is two different things, that is, or maybe it is what Elizabeth said that it is to her. It's almost two different areas. Definitely, I would agree that your brain separates those things. And the more you do it, the easier it is to kind of separate those things. But at the same time, if I was to make a comment on, can I listen to new music without analyzing it? Unfortunately not. For me, because I was in an environment that basically demanded that your ears constantly be on. Even though I've kind of left that environment a little bit, and I mean, I guess not, because my doctorate is still using analysis. My doctorate is analysis of people singing and analysis of music. I don't know. I struggle. And it means that sometimes I'll be listening to something that someone really enjoys, and because I'm analyzing, it can dull your enjoyment, your initial enjoyment for something. But sometimes if I'm really tired, I can listen to music and just vibe. The other thing that helps vibing is imbibing, so that can help as well. She does have a pink onesie, and we should totally do a onesie party. Done. Onesie party. Let's do this. I mean, could we do it when America is in like almost like coming out of winter and I'm almost into, oh God, what would that be? Can we do it when it's not so damn hot in Australia is kind of what I mean. In sweaty. Most of my videos that you've watched me put up recently, I am sweaty in those videos. It's gross. It's like I have to like dab my upper lip. That's how real I'm being with you right now. I have to dab my upper lip. It's so sweaty where I film. And in summer, oh, yuck. 40 degrees and like 80% humidity. Eee. It's super bad. It's so gross. Cool. So basically you need to be awake for 48 hours before you can enjoy music. I enjoy the music, but the analysis brain doesn't switch off. It's kind of like, oh, I enjoy this because this is happening. It's really good. Do you plan on doing any more pentatonics? Perhaps at some point. I might do some of that earlier stuff. Yeah, it is hot right now. It's definitely, it's uncomfortable. But yeah, fabulous plan. Yay! Autumn and spring would be fine. Yeah. That sounds good. Onesie should improve your immersion. I think my fire department fellows would get a kick out of it if I showed up to a fire in a onesie. Can you film that if you do that? Okay. Jonathan says, hey, Julia, love your videos. It'd be awesome if you could react to Josh Groban sometime, because that man has a golden voice. Much love from Sweden. Yeah. I mean, the last time I heard Josh Groban was when he was he was singing with Celine Dion. He was singing The Prayer. That was the last time I listened to Josh Groban. And it was okay. It was, I don't know. I think it's because when you listen to something that's really good, everything that you listen to it that's in a similar style, a similar vibe gets compared to the best version that you've already listened to for whatever reason. And yeah. Josh has an amazing voice. I would give him that. He's got an amazing voice. That particular performance there, it was all right. Do you get any snow there in July or August? No, 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 no. I wish. I saw snow for the first time when I was 325 years old, and I jumped around in it like I was, 107. It was amazing. It was amazing. So I liked the snow because I kind of like colder weather so long as I have something to like keep myself warm with. But no, we don't get snow here. I wish we did. I wish we did. Josh Groban's Baby Shark. I actually kind of like the Baby Shark song. Oh, bye bye, Julia. Okay, bye bye, bye bye. That's to the person saying bye. Yeah, you could hit the like button if you want. Am I still here? I'm sorry. I ran in my mouth for a long period of time. Okay, Olivia says, it's Olivia or Olivia? Okay. It is my birthday today. I'm 40 years old. I'm a French fan in Quebec. Sing happy birthday to me, Oliver. Okay. All right, we're singing happy birthday. Everyone together. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Oliver. Happy birthday to you. So that was probably a little more musical theatery, but happy birthday. Cheetah says, hi Julia, so nice to catch you live. May I suggest Arion Everybody Dies? It's a crazy singer extravaganza. I really need to dive into more Arion. I know it. Oh, I'm so slow at uploading. Gen Z, born, raised in Florida. Yeah. Oh, rock dino onesies, are they invited? Yeah. You could definitely show up in a rock dino onesie. That sounds amazing. Baby shark onesie party. I love this idea of the onesies. We just have to wait for either for me to get air conditioning, which is probably not going to happen, or for the season to not be so sweaty right now. I hate snow. I'd rather have 40 degrees outside. Everybody is different, okay? Everybody is different. I am living for running with this agent. Yeah, of course. I'm a mature, like 1003-year-old. Of course, I'm gonna like commit and keep going with it. Have you heard of Spirit Box? I have. That one's on my list. Spirit Box is on my list. You need someone to edit your videos for you. I do. But until my efficiency at explaining things clearly, because when I'm filming, I will try and say something and then I'm actually analyzing what I'm saying as I'm saying it, and I might decide I want to say it differently. And that can be harder to navigate with the editing sometimes. So I would be down to getting an editor. Okay, sending you more congratulations and hugs. Thanks for this live stream and your fantastic content. I have to hop to a meeting now. Yes, in my onesie, so I wave effusively goodbye. Goodbye, Elizabeth. Everyone, say bye to Elizabeth. Thank you so much. God, everyone's amazing. But yes, agreed. I need someone to edit my videos. Other people are saying goodnight. That's okay. We might wrap up soon. It's been 2 whole hours hanging out with you guys. This is amazing. Do you know about the O'Keefe Foundation and their work with kids? They did an amazing work with 46 and 2 by Tool. I don't know that. I will write that down. 46 and 2 by Tool. I don't know about that, so I'll have to have a look at that. Yeah, see? I'm not manufactured for these cold climates. I was born in Spain. I mean, what's my excuse? I was born in one of the hottest places in Australia. And I still, without fail, every summer get some form of like almost heat stroke. I don't know why I am this way. You're still going in this live stream. Of course I am. Interesting people are talking to me. I've been inside for a while. No, actually, Australia's doing not too bad with all the lockdowns. We came out of it, but I think where I am, they were pretty strict in one place, and then we wound up. I don't think we've had a community transmission. Basically, the moment anyone has like kind of like a community-based transmission now, even if it's like one or two people, we start to like implement the lockdown kind of levels as well. So a little while ago, we had someone who flew in from London, and Australia was like, what? Because he had like the UK strain, and all of the borders shut, all of them. We were like, no, no, sir, we don't want that. No, no, you can't come here. Um, and and then when it got like someone thought that they had a transmission of it, we had like maybe two or three that were said they had the Rona. And what wound up happening was we went into like a stage 4 lockdown because of 3 people. So that's how seriously our response is at the moment in Australia to Rona. Gosh, 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 gosh. More than 100 years old. Yeah. I'm 1,003. What are you talking about? I listen to Lexi Walker. Yeah, beautiful voice. The Diversity of Angelina. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. So different artists will do different things. To me, Lexi is very pop music theatre, and you can hear that in her singing. I do think there's more room for diversity, particularly when it comes to vocal effects and other kinds of more crunchy sounds in the styles that Angelina dives through. So the jazz blues things. It's more the listening to points of tension when it comes to listening to kids. That is why I lent more towards Lexi, because it is like super free. Her voice has almost zero tension in it, which is really good for someone that age doing those things. Like that's my university professor used to refer to like some people whom like the regular rules seem to not apply as like the freaks. And yeah, she's insane. I really wish we had restrictions that heavy here in the US. Things would probably be a lot better. I think where Australia benefits is that we have more space. So if you look at the amount of people that live here compared to how big Australia actually is, we have a lot more space. So places like Melbourne, which population, they're like a little bit more dense, their housing is a little bit more dense, things spread a lot faster, and things were a lot worse in Melbourne and Victoria for a while there. So while other states were perfectly fine to like keep their borders in place but like go out, and there wasn't any like restrictions within the state, like the borders were still locked, Melbourne was still in lockdown for months. It was, yeah, I think your population density plays a role, but also the age of that population that's there. Christabel says, congrats on 100,000. You should check out Susan Sun for The Brothel or When the Lord. I will write that name down because I need. Oh God, I keep adding to my list, and then you know, when you have too many options and it makes you freeze. That's where I'm at the moment. How's the fires now? I haven't heard anything in a while. Yeah, no. So we had the fires at the beginning of last year, and then we had flooding, and then we had Rona. So that was, all we need is some locusts, and it's like the second coming of Christ. Yeah, that's what I mean. So Germany is in the middle of Europe, and therefore it's not as simple to lock up borders. That 100%. Australia has space, and we're also an island, so we're isolated from all these other places which might have different rules. Australia is just like, we're going to lock everything down here, and each of the states is like, cool, get out. And now we're fine. We don't have any lockdowns or anything. So in the middle of, I went back to work outside in August of last year. Yeah. So our transmissions, and they would not let that happen until we had like a really small amount of transmissions, and they had to be in like quarantine. Yeah. It's strange how different countries have reacted doing different things. Okay. Okay. Bye, always. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have fun discussing the songs. Oh. Do you kinks with K-pop? What does that mean? Okay, Welsh Wizard says, "Hi Julia, who are your 3 best discoveries since starting reaction videos?" So many. So many. Floor, for sure. God, that's hard. Because so many amazing musicians and artists. I really liked Devin Townsend. I really like it. I liked the musicianship of Angelina Jordan. I liked Dimash. Dimash took me a little while to get into because in the beginning, the first couple of videos, what he was doing technique wise was so prevalent to my analytical brain that the emotional connection wasn't there. It was like his technique overwhelmed the emotional connection that you could experience. And then I listened to him perform Summertau, still my favorite. And the emotional connection in that song, I think maybe it was the arranging in the first two. It just didn't, it's almost like the arranging wasn't able to sort of meet the same standard as what his voice was doing. Anyway, so I loved so many things. I couldn't pick 3. Aurora was amazing. Even the ones that scared me, listening to Tatiana in Ginger, like these are incredible vocalists. They do some really cool things. MRJR79 says, "Julia and the followers, I'll buy the mug." Oh, cute. Okay. All right. Yeah, we had strict border policies without being about race. People redirecting each other out, and it was an island. So we were just like, no, the border is closed. If you want to come in, you better have a dang good reason and proof that you don't have sickness. Anyway, I do not warm up to. So Johnny said I do not warm up to Dimash for some reason. I do think part of it is because, and I said this in another video. I don't think I said it in a Dimash video, but in another one that I filmed that I haven't put up yet. But I'll say it here anyway. I think with Dimash, because his performances are so technically expansive, it does become a little bit overwhelming emotionally. But also, people tend to recommend the ones that are so technically incredible that I think sometimes we miss out on the like emotional ones that are like that will really connect with you, because on YouTube we kind of make our own set list. We make our own concert of what order we watch things in. So if you're constantly only listening to the same kind of music, the same kind of vocal expression, I think it can become difficult to understand just how emotionally connected an artist can become if you're only listening to those kind of songs that are meant to be like the most impressive, crazy numbers. Do you kind of get what I mean? So, yeah, I kind of have that feeling where Dimash is just so technically good, like ridiculously good at the technique and execution, the vocal execution, that sometimes it overwhelms the emotion. And if you're only listening to those kinds of songs, you might not find ways to connect with him. I do also, because we hear him hear him singing in foreign language a lot. There's something about listening to him in his native tongue that there's something in there. There's something in listening to him when he's singing in his native tongue that it connects with you so much more, because he probably can feel those lyrics to a much further extent than if he's singing in foreign language, which he might be able to even speak it, but it's not quite the same as your native tongue. There's like a connection you have with your native tongue that yeah. Okay. Congrats on 100K. Might I suggest reacting to Somewhere by Within Temptation with Anneke? Is it a K at the end? V. Gersbergen. Live and First Aid Kit, Emily live at the Polar Music Festival. I will add this to my notes. Okay. That is Damien, by the way, suggesting that one. Okay. I live there. Don't come here now. Anywhere in the USA. Thank you for the warning, Rick. Wait, Rick, were you the guy that packaged my... Where is it? That packaged the button? Are you Rick? I'm kidding. Summer is amazing. Cool. Love from Chile, South America. Hello. All right. Yeah. I can see you guys kind of get what I mean. Um, and you know, every singer needs one of those songs where it's like, this is the grabbing people song, and then that kind of acts as a gateway into them being able to explore other things. But on YouTube, we can decide what music we listen to and in which order. So sometimes if you're watching enough, like watching the sort of most popular Dimash ones, which are the more, you know, wow, let's bring people in, oh that God, this is amazing type stuff. If you're just listening to that, you might assume that that's all he does. Whereas I don't think that that's very fair, because in a concert, he might perform more of a variety on what he's actually doing. I don't know. I've never been to a Dimash concert, but do you see where I'm kind of getting at? Like, there's you create your own sets. Okay. All right. It looks like people are needing to go. Yeah. Okay. All righty, guys. I think I think that's where I'm gonna leave that one today. Are you guys? I hope you guys are able to get out of this react. Oh, Austin says, I'm off to do some hard relaxing on this chilly Friday night. Congrats again, and I'll see you on Discord. Gingers will rule the world. P.S. Add Rose in December from Lizzie Hale to your list. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. I can definitely do that. But I am going to, I think we might call it there. Yeah? Let's call it there, guys. This has been amazing. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this. I hope that you enjoyed it, even though it was mostly me just talking. But yeah, silver button. And thank you so much to each and every single one of you. This is nuts. I had no idea this was gonna happen. I was like 100 subscribers, woo! And now it's 100,000. I'm like, oh, pressure. Yeah, I do this for fun and to share stuff with you. So I'm so glad that you guys are keen on sharing stuff. But yeah, we'll decide on like a name or like merch ideas. I don't know how merch would go. I'm a super busy person, so I'd have to think about that. Anyways, thanks so much for joining me, guys. I really, really appreciate it. And to those of you that bought into the super chat, thank you. I forgot that that was a thing. So in the beginning, if I think I went back so that I didn't miss everyone, but I tried to stay on top of that as it went. Um, anyways, thank you so much, guys. And don't mind my weird singing from earlier. That's just me having some fun with you fine people. Okay. Enjoy your morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will catch you in the next video. Okay, bye. Getting up now to turn the camera off. How do I turn this off? Oh, there we go.